I used to be a slave, kept under the thumb of the master, the bastard that made me hunt down my own kin. How did he do that, you ask? With the living scar you see on my cheek, this horror that takes no more than a song sung by Master Dearest to control my very thoughts. But now the tables have turned. I broke my shackles, and when I finally find him, I will make the Master sing a very different kind of song.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
No, I do not. Then again, I don't belong to the House of Dreams. I'm a prince of the House of War, a house you seem to be all too familiar with, judging by that rather fetching mark on your cheek. I have not. But how fortuitous it is indeed for a slave girl to walk on by and confirm a dreamer's presence on this isle. Now that you've served your purpose, though, you and I have a problem. You've clearly relinquished your duties by running away from your rightful master, a crime punishable by death. No, I suppose they don't. Which is why I've no intention of carrying out the death sentence that I should. Besides, you did come back for me and all those others on a sinking ship after all. What do you say we bury the hatchet, you and I? For now, at least. Good, very good. I'm glad you're being so sensible. Glad I can return to my ruminations.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Judging by the dark pools that are your eyes, I'd say you're seeing yourself.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. Yes, but these weren't castles in the sky, were they? Quite obviously I was musing over the very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. I already told you I'm a prince. Do you mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Well, more's the damn pity, isn't it? For I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the Spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. This and that. Tag along. Do you really mean to compare the fate of an empire to whatever foibles you seek to fix? On the other hand, I really could do with a dog's body. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island, most likely the same chap you're looking for. Promise me we'll find him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. Jolly good.
Dear one, help me teach this beast. He must respect.
Respect? Ha! Someone's got to keep this place running. Griff can't do it for free. Why'd you gotta make this so hard?
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff, especially not one of you. You two ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the Magisters enforcing round here. A fool never knows what they've got till it's well and gone. Now come on, elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be trouble.
Burrow looks you up and down, sizing up your threat.
You look like you're worth a little more than that. Get lost, elf. Mama here is paying for both of you.
He sidles up to you, leering. He lies there, whimpering.
All right, all right.
The elf smiles and bows to you in thanks. The man rolls his sleeves back down. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there, good work. I can tell you've got chops.
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours.
Suit yourself. Probably wise, given the rashes you can pick up around this place. Good to meet you regardless, lady. Say, you don't look all that busy. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run, and then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place? Everyone needs to make a living. I make mine running errands.
The little black cat trailing you hisses at him, hair raising a ridge along its back. Without batting an eyelid, the man rumbles a lupine growl. The cat hides behind your leg, mewling.
Ah, I knew there was a kinship of sorts about you. Same trade, different masters it looks like. If you're willing, we could work well together. Why not help each other get out of here? The usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. Haven't quite worked out the details yet, but I'll wager it'll be no worse than what'll happen if we stay put. 2 heads are better than 1, and when push comes to shove, 4 fists are better than 2, right?
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep more of our blood in. You've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean?
He gives you an appraising look, almost admiring.
I don't do it for the money. A man needs focus in life. Purpose.
He smiles at you, a broad and genuine smile.
I understand. One professional to another. I'll help. I take it you've no objections to the imminent death of my mark. Good to know. And likewise, with whatever errands of your own you have.
An odd-looking young woman is staring intently at the statue to the divine, fingers curled rigidly at her sides. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black voids. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
What? Do I have something on my face? Oh, that's one of those lizard scars, right? You all right, though? Those bastards still getting you down? That's the spirit. I'm Losa. Pleased to meet you.
Huh? What? But I was... It was... Please, tell me. Tell me. Why did you wake me? I was so close, so close. I am Stingtail. Who is asking? Death? I've seen it dark in dreams, but... no face. Not yours, surely. Such a beautiful face. Familiar somehow. Yes, That cheek.
Something suddenly dawns on Stingtail, and he goes quite pale.
Confound my drug-addled brain. It is she. You're she. The Master's chosen. Why do you seek me? I was made to weave your scar. They forced my hand. I never had a wish to blemish you, enslave you. I would undo it if I could. Oh, I surely would. I surely would. But I cannot. Only the Master can. But I don't know. How could I? The Master finds. He is never found. You must know that. Surely you know that.
Stingtail writhes in your grip as he gapes at you with fear-smothered eyes, his voice a pitiful wheeze through his tightened throat.
Please, I don't know the whereabouts of the Master.
He winces and moans. Tears stream down his shivering face, but he doesn't speak a word. This time, he hisses loudly, the sharpness of the pain getting the better of him.
No, stop! The wolves! The lone wolves! They may know about the Master. The Master, he's been using lone wolf mercenaries ever since your escape. You vanished, so he needed others to do his bidding. They may know where he is. Lone wolves need to be paid in person. They may know where he is. Who would know? Who would know? Must be Griff. Yes, Griff knows. I assure you. He's over yonder in the kitchen. The cook, the celery man, the butcher man. But he knows things. If there's wolves on the prowl, Griff will have caught their scent. I've told you all. Told you all I can. Have mercy, fair lady. Have mercy.
Stingtail stands before you a broken mess, quivering with fear and pleading miserably to spare his life. With a single stab, both brutal and exact, you drive your needle into Stingtail's heart. His dead eyes stare at you in disbelief for the briefest of moments. Then his legs give way and he drops to the ground. It's over. The lone wolves are next, and your needle beckons. The Red Prince grabs you by the throat, like you did Stingtail, each finger a python, constricting.
Demon elf, I should do unto you as you did unto him. A flippant tongue and a fleeting life. Is that all you've left?
His grip is like a snare. The harder you struggle, the tighter it grows. You're actually beginning to worry. To your surprise, he loosens his grip and actually lets you go.
Just tell me why. There will be a reckoning, Sebille. Killing gives you too much comfort. You'll be your own needle, you'll see.
Ifan looks over at you with a grimace. The emotion flitting behind his eyes is hard to grasp. Is it sorrow? Shame? Guilt?
Sure. That's the kind of contract some lone wolves accept.
Sensing your rage, Ifan steps back a few paces at speed. He holds his hands up in placation.
Look, I understand your anger. Truly I do. But you know lone wolves are a large network of mercenaries, right? On contracts we work pretty independently. You know, alone. You and I are alike, Sebille. No point denying it. And working together, there's nothing the two of us couldn't do. Let's keep it that way? That's the spirit?
Ifan smiles at you. The smile looks genuine, and he looks relieved. But can you trust your eyes? Can you trust a lone wolf? The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns toward you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Ah, hello. So much you suffer. So much suffering you have and you make. Does causing pain stop yours?
I see it before my eyes.
Dear one, no. your anger. No, I should not say. You must discover for yourself.
She takes your hand.
I wish you only healing.
It looks like she wants to speak further, but she hesitates, shakes her head.
No, surely it cannot be.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? He knows how to leave.
What? Do ya? What authority is that? Lucky fella. I'd have done worse. Anyway, lone wolves, you said. Question is, why would I interrupt peeling them potatoes to tell you about lone wolves? I ain't no gentleman, and you don't look like no lady. Now, listen here. I'll make it easy for you. You're gonna dig into your pockets and fish out a nice pile of shiny ones. You do that, and I'll point you to the wolves. Let them sort you out. Deal?
Griff counts your coins with greedy fingers.
Should have asked for double that amount, really. Now then, lone wolves. Yeah, I know of one. Fella with the fetching name of Zaliskar. Magisters think they're running a tight ship, but their boat's as leaky as an old goat's nipples. Money goes out, contraband comes in, and it's Zaliskars who's doing the moving. Oh, but certainly. As it happens, he's coming by for afternoon tea. Of course I can't, you dolt. He's out there, in the marshes beyond the fort. So if you want to meet him, you're going to have to give the Magisters the slip. Bloody new arrivals. You lot don't know nothing, do ya?
He sighs dramatically.
There's a whole damn swamp out there. The hollow marshes. A vile place. An evil place. Even the Magisters don't go there. Some say there's devils there. Others say there's freedom to be had. I say they're all like a dwarven latrine on a festival night. Full of crap up to the goddamn ceiling. Any time, Toots.
The long, sharp needle is blackened with the ink that fuels its purpose, to tattoo the names of those you hunt upon your skin. Pandan. He knew your name, gurgled it through blood. You killed him because the Master forced you to. You recall Karia, House of War. She died burning. Sometimes you think you hear her soothing screams on the wind still. Ink fuels the needle's purpose. This single word fuels yours. Master, he is the center of your search. He will be the pinnacle of your vengeance. Only when he is dead will you truly be free. Stingtail, House of Dreams, turn to crab food on the shores of Fort Joy. The needle stings, but the pain feels good. You smile and think of the many left to hunt. As the Magister turns to face you, you feel Fane stepping up behind you.
Have you seen...
Fane, unfortunately...
Who are you, you lovely little fairy?
He reaches out and places a hand on yours.
Aha! Easy. So fascinating. Living bark, living wood. Please, come in. Oh, do make yourself at home, won't you? Oh, but this is destiny. I too name my knives, and my shears, and my pliers, and my scalpels. Oh, dear little thing. I'd like to lick you all over with my studded tongue. Ah, rudely I am denied. You may break my heart, but I'll have yours with strawberries.
The hooded man exudes a restrained menace that near matches your own. As he raises his head, the hood falls back, revealing the gleaming bone visage of an undead.
Be not frightened of me, delicate fleshed one. There's far worse than my bite in this quagmire. Yours, for instance. Oh, I'd recognize that pretty face of yours in a sea of thousands. Shame those lizards spoiled it so. Neat little feats of magic, though, those scars. Tell me, did he only make you dig them daggers deep? Or did he make you swing like a monkey, too? He really is a hoot and a half like that, your master. Only what is whispered. Then again, I've heard a lot of whispers. And I've heard a lot of you, Sebille. I'm afraid I must decline. People, yes, but not me, Sebille. I am Zalaskar. I am a lone wolf. I'm older than the ruins of man. Do you really think you can intimidate me? You stir a long-gone feeling, a remembrance of flowers and sparkling eyes. I know you bewitch me. I know not why you sway me, but yes, I want to do right by you.
He gives you a courteous little bow.
So I shall, milady. I take you to seek the Master. I take you to seek he who cannot be found, but then again, you found me, and it's entirely possible for you to find Roost. You have no memory of Roost, I know you don't, but he is a man you hate as much as the Master himself. He's the one that took you. He's the one that delivered you to the Master. He's a travelling man, like all lone wolves. Goes where contracts take him. Last I heard, though, he was roaming Reaper's coast. A bountiful place to be. Even Roost doesn't know. All he told me is that the Master wanted you above any other. You who were no sadist, no killer, an innocent. He wanted you above any other. I too wonder why, you know. For look what a sadist you've become. What a wonderful killer. Every lone wolf boasts of his greatest contract. You are Roost's. You made him rich and famous. You were his golden little goose, if you'll pardon the expression. Before you go, milady, perhaps we could trade. I've many desirable trinkets from the ancients. For the smallest of costs, I'll tell you. Barely a trifle.
I couldn't help but overhear. It's Roost you're looking for. He's my pack leader. Well, Roost will be camped out somewhere near Driftwood on Reaper's Coast. At least, that's where he was last I saw him. I'll be headed there myself, soon as we get off this damned island.
Amid the soundless air of this alien world, you see a wraith-like elf standing tall. He eyes you imperiously.
So, you have found me. She who I plucked from the water as she sank and drowned, who I tossed unto the shore with seaweed in her hair, salt and sand upon her skin. Sebille, the scarred one, the woman bearing the mark of infamy. Kneel before me, slave. Before no man, ha! But before a god? I am Tyr Sendilius, most magnificent of the seven, and you will kneel before me. Insolent wench! If you will not kneel before me, you will do me one better.
You feel an irresistible energy digging into your shoulders, two great claws that force you to the ground, bruising your knees.
I am your god. I will have your worship. I have you on your knees. Now, crawl to me and kiss my feet.
A claw returns, 5 unseen talons splayed over the crown of your head. As it slowly starts to push you down, you know you cannot resist.
Don't you keep defying me, Sebille. Kiss my feet. What is this? What is this sudden resolve? You will not kneel before me like you kneeled before a lizard? You will not kiss my feet like you kissed your masters? Isn't it rather late, Sebille, for this pathetic show of pride? You let yourself be scarred. You let yourself be manipulated and puppeteered. For shame! How dare you? Do you not realize what you are? God-woken! And what makes you think you still have the right to a name? The right to any self-worth? Slavery. Submission. It is in your blood.
His words sting like daggers. But then, quite unexpectedly, his stern countenance softens, and an air of melancholy crumbles his bastion-like facade.
Then again, submission, maybe it's in my blood as well. God is but a word. A god's worth is defined by power. And what have I left of true power? Nothing. I submitted them all. All 7 of us did. Allowed them to be stolen by a man named Lucian. He took them. He kept them. But now, the usurper is dead, and the power of 7 gods lies free for the taking. The world is without gods. It is a fat-bellied beast, blind and tethered, ripe for void-woken teeth. The world is without gods, but it is in need of one. One. And all I have to show for is you.
His features harden once more, and his eyes fill with contempt as he takes a step closer.
Sebille, the scarred one.
Another step.
The slave.
And another. He is almost upon you now, uncomfortably close, his breath clammy like a humid mist. The needle pierces Tirce Endelius's gossamer flesh. A heartbeat strong as a quake reverberates through the metal and into your hand, arm, chest. A power pulses, 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 and explodes within your soul. All goes black for the briefest of moments, but when you come to, you see your own name grafted into your skin, gilded letters in an ancient alphabet.
Slave. Accurse the word. Nevermore will you be such a thing. I give you your name back. I give you yourself back. You are my champion. You are my chosen one. As such I have named you. As such I have blessed you. And now yours is the power to bless in turn. I blessed the very water beneath your feet. Now you may wield that power for yourself. A first taste of things to come. For this is only the beginning. From here on out, there are 2 things that await you. Death and divinity. Yours will be the choice. Death or divinity. Now you must go back to your world, my chosen one, and make your escape from the piece of rock they landed you on. Before I let you go, however, there is one more matter we must touch upon. You are traveling with company, yes? No, not friends, rivals. They are god-woken too, and may be courted by the lesser 6, but you will be a god, none other. Smile at your fellow wanderers, but ready your knife, for its time will come. Oh, and Lohse. Lovely little Lohse. Just kill her now and be done with it. With that, I bid you goodbye, Sebille. Goodbye. We will meet again, anon.
Before you is a towering figurehead carved in the likeness of a dragon. It looms over the bow, its fangs bared at the open sea. At that moment, the ship serendipitously creaks beneath you, almost like it is acknowledging your observation. The deck beneath you groans and trembles, like the ship itself is awaking from a slumber. A deep sigh emerges, unmistakably the sound of a living being.
You are not the witch. You are not Dallas. You sang the song. Now you must decide my fate. Are you to be my new mistress? You know my plight. I can sense it. But you cannot free me, not truly. My scar is etched upon immortal wood. My servitude cannot end. I must be guided. Let me take you wherever you wish. We can depart as soon as you are ready. Ask. I am here to serve in all ways. I see you, sister, but I do not see myself. I was once an elf. That much I know. Then I passed and grew into an ancestor tree. But that time has passed. I saw that forest reduced to a dead place. Then I was taken away. My memories were lost, like the leaves from my branches. Thanks to the great calamity of our people, the Magisters. They tainted our soil with death fog and uprooted the sacred ancestor trees. They tore me apart and turned me into this monstrosity. Of course, wherever there is sea, I will endeavor to bring you. Consult with your companions and set a course.
As he regains consciousness, Tyr's Sendelius frees an arm from the tendrils that bind him. He clutches at the coils, but cannot rend them apart.
Curse these snakes! Curse these binds! The others too? Am I the first to wake? It doesn't matter. There is no time. You must leave this place. It's too dangerous. Just like you, Sebille, to gloat over a god. But that pretty smile of yours will melt from your face when you face the void. It is here, the cosmic spider ever weaving its webs. The void is coming for us gods, coming to drink us dry of our powers. We stand no chance, not here. Let it be a warning to you, Sebille. I, the god who created you, tremble. Does this not give you pause? Soon the Seven will be nothing but morsels in the maws of the void. Unless you do as I bid you. Do what I blessed you for. You have already set loose some of the powers locked within you. But there is a great well of possibility as yet untapped. You cannot stop until you ascend to the highest heights of your power. You cannot stop until you become divine. Like Lucian, you will be called to unite the powers of the Seven against the Void. Like Lucian, you will lead our proud people to preeminence. But unlike Lucian, your weakness will not lead you to foolish failure. Either a new divine rises, or the world falls prey to the Void. One of the Godwoken must become the new divine, and that Godwoken must be you. You are my champion. So set off in pursuit of divinity. Good. Now hurry. Get out of here before...
Hush. It's here. The spider's here.
Run! Go! I will find you. I'll be in...
White-hot cold pierces your heart like a blade. You are frozen to the spot. The burning cold pumps through you like a curse, and then... bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
Sebille, come closer, so that you may see me, as I truly am. You will see, when you look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly.
Gone is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god Tyr Sendelius in all his spectral glory.
You know me, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful, and now I've come to seek some power in return. Your godwoken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Tyr Sendelius nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. Don't you dare be ungrateful after all I've done for you. I sheltered you. Now you must shelter me. The Void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet By droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. Don't you be impertinent, girl. The table's turning is not a victory, but a bitter stalemate at best. You must realize, Sebille, that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the Void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go, the Well of Ascension. It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. There you touch upon the very heart of the matter. The Void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it. Only she who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's liberator. It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you, or be undone. But of course that is what they are saying to their own God-woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One, at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, Sebille. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods. Their blood on your blood-red hands. But don't let that dismay you, for these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin, and your loved ones, and the world they live in. They will be at your mercy, which is vastly preferable to you being at theirs, wouldn't you agree? So fret not, but revel in the promise of the lake. I will lead you there when you are ready, when you've become a true master of the Source, and speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a God-woken can, and wield its most powerful spells.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
Perhaps. But what is a pilgrimage after all, if not a journey of atonement, in search of enlightenment? Focus not on death and irony, Sebille. On life and ascension instead. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first, you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here. Something that will make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is Source, and in Source it is, immortally so. You have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in Source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. And so much more. But I'm no longer who I once was. bound to you as I've become. I will teach you what I can, but the knowledge that will expand the bounds of your soul, that you'll have to hunt for yourself. Best of luck, Sebille.
Go no further. We are at ritual. Do not disturb us. Your tongue betrays you, sister. You spend too much time with humans. But you may enter.
3 battle-weary elven warriors make ritual over the body of a fallen comrade. They're chanting low and fierce. The pain of their loss is manifest in every word.
Blood to earth, to wood, to birth. The blood of Sarius to this earth.
The tallest, strongest elf, whom you take to be the leader, acknowledges your presence with the tiniest tilt of her head, then turns back to the task in hand. She places the tip of a long-bladed spear on poor dead Sarius's chestbone.
Blood to earth.
Her companions reach out and grasp the spear, ready to plunge it into Sarius's heart.
Blood to earth.
Together you plunge the blade deep into Sarius's heart, then twist it 3 times as is the custom. Blood flows freely to the ground, and Sarius's heart lies neatly cut in 4.
Blood to blood.
Each warrior plucks a piece of heart and places it in their mouth. Chewing solemnly, their leader looks to you to see what you will do. Saria's memories flood you. A warrior proud and true, you fight the lone wolves at the sawmill for Sebille, your Scion, and for the future of all the elves, or all that still remain. But the fight goes ill. You and Tova draw fire that your friends may flee. You die in Tova's arms. With the barest blink, Tova accepts your good wishes, then turns back to the corpse.
Sarius is a warrior, proud and true. Blood to blood. Earth to earth, wood to wood, birth to birth. Sarius becomes his tree. May Sarius take root.
The elves pick Sarius's bloody corpse from the ground. Tova looks to you, then indicates for you to help. Together you send Sarius to his final resting place. His corpse rolls to a stop at the bottom of the pit. The elven leader stands and stares at her fallen comrade. Then she wipes away a tear and turns away. A massive man looms over a small elf, his hair a tangle of matted knots. Scars upon scars cross every inch of visible flesh, from his hands to his gnarled face. He slurps something into his mouth, thoughtfully chews for a moment, then spits it on the ground, where it lands with a sickly splat.
It don't work. For me. Anyway, you try.
He offers her something round and slippery, like a wet, white marble in the palm of his hand.
I do not defile the dead.
Ain't you an elf?
We eat flesh to honor it, not to steal the secrets of the dead.
Secrets, they're no fun. Secrets.
He grabs the young elf by the jaw and squeezes.
Hurt someone.
Roost turns his face toward you, and roughly wrenches the elf's jaw toward you as well. When you lock eyes, it's as if fury has become a living thing that comes charging down your veins, all a howling madness. It's him, the man who abducted you and sold you to the Master. His smile is nauseating.
You'll have to give me a kiss first. Lots of tongue, too.
He laughs, the sound of a hiccuping demon choking on raw offal.
How vile and petty a thing you are.
Shut up! It's her I'm talking to. Sebille, I was wondering when I'd see you again. Knew the time would come after you broke Daddy's leash. Ha yes. Been wondering when the Master's little pet would pick up my scent.
Your casual dismissal of his insults seems to unsettle him somewhat. Uncertainty sours his face.
You're, somewhat more steady than I was led to believe. Let's just cut to the chase, shall we? You are searching for your master. I know where he is.
Them's the cards we're holding, and I've all the aces up my sleeve. Thing is, I forfeit my hand, that's right. I'll tell you where your master is, just like that. Your man with no name is on the isle with no name. Popular spot these days. Lots of my wolves prowling its beaches. Because I'm going to take you to him, I'm going to beat you. Like I did before, I'm going to bleed and bind you, and what's left of you, no more than a battered bit of meat, I'm going to deliver to the master all over again. He'll be so glad to have his puppy back, even if she'll have lost some of her luster.
My dearest friend, the one who saves me. Oh, Sebille, we must speak. Too long do I keep silent, too long do I wait. No more.
Sebille pats your right arm with a warm, motherly smile, but then her fingers run across the names tattooed upon your skin, and her blind eyes see it all. She pulls her hand back as if scalded, shock temporarily overpowering her.
My child, what is wrong?
These names, they're the names of the dead, of the scions of our people. But that cannot be. Do you not remember, Sebille?
You are the prime Scion.
You're like I am, only far greater. I am but a limb, a branch where once there were many. You are the heart. You are the hope for our new homeland, the promise of our future, the very reason we do not give in to despair. You're confused, you're conflicted, and all because...
Her darkened eyes scour your body with an uncanny intensity.
All because of this.
She reaches for your cheek with a sure hand and softly traces your scar with her thumb.
Careful.
Such unspeakable horror, this thing. I see all now. I figure who you are, the one we fear, the needle in the night, the Scion that is Scion killer. That is who you are, is it not?
Flashes of blood-red lightning, the needle piercing so very deeply, memories of murder again and again and again.
Forced, but a killer still. You cause much grief. Diliana, Kuma, Silius, Mindaran, all the many others on your long, lean arm, dead friends. They are dead because you run away. They are dead because you do not want to be the heart. Your fear is how Roost captures you. Your fear is how they scar you. The scar makes you kill Scions. Without Scions, all elves die. If all elves die, the fault is yours.
She grabs you brusquely, forces her face close to yours.
You remember. My blind eyes make you see.
You can't but look into the murky whites that are her eyes. A moment's trepidation, then it all comes flooding back. You're the prime Scion, destined to be the new heart that pulses at the center of all ancestor trees. But the great mother tree speaks of death and domination. You hate her. You flee from her, only to end in a strange land among unkind strangers. First Roost, then the dreaded Master.
All is forgiven if you do right by your kin.
You are the greatest of us all, the prime Scion. We need you. You must go to the nameless isle where the mother tree roots.
She is sick with fog that undid so many. She is dying. We've need of a new mother. Of you. This is vengeance, the one who forced you to kill once all Scions dead. If you become the mother, new Scions rise and he is defeated.
Sebille embraces you with a palpable sense of relief.
The nameless isle awaits. The great mother calls you with every breath of wind that rustles through her leaves.
Heed her call, Sebille. It rustles for you. You are a new mother to us all. the heart that beats in our every chest.
And here there is need of you too. Thank you for helping me. Without you, I am already dead.
You save us all. My girl is back. Our Scion is back.
I know what you need, and I can help you. We can help you.
She crouches down, placing a hand on the earthen ground.
Can you hear them? Their roots stretch beneath us, even now.
Bind that wound that
Yes,
does not fester.
they are cut down, destroyed and defiled. But our roots run deeper than any know. Our roots cross the world many times over. I will link you. You will hear them. They will feed you. Increase the source in you. Increase the power.
She leans toward you, her veiled eyes directed toward the ground. The slightest of smiles plays over her lips, then vanishes.
A space inside you clears. You have room for more source. You have room for more everything. You have room for the whispers of the trees. Hold your hand to the ground. I hold my hand over yours. We breathe together. We call the spirit of the trees to us. Close your eyes. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale.
With each in-breath, the voices flutter in, whispers at first, then gentle murmurs like water over rocks. The wind of the voices enters you as you and Sebille breathe together. It travels down your throat, into your belly, around your heart. Suddenly, your blood runs icy cold, then warms again. Each breath makes you stronger. The voices fortify you, quicken your pulse, make a space in your heart where, yes, a great power can inhabit you. You exhale, and the voices, all but one, no louder than a whisper, flutter away. The space within you remains.
We are connected now, you and I. You and all our kind.
I give you something too. A thanks.
Take this spear. It destroys evil. It helps you. You help us more than you know. We make arrangements. We travel soon. I must meet someone who can help us. I say no more than this. But I do wish you good luck. And perhaps we meet again. Someday.
He winces and recoils, then quickly regains his composure.
My, Sebille. How you positively brim with sauce. No wonder, after all the adventures you have had, all the things you have had to do. Oh, it's naught but a chill. Bit drafty in your soul, that's all. You should...
A sudden shudder jolts through his body so violently that he drops to his knees, stunned into silence. Sauce washes over him, a wave over a single flame, but unlike last time, it seems to have precious little effect. An ancient curse escapes from his lips, spoken so forcefully that for a brief moment all light recedes into the webs of darkness.
So did I, but the void creeps and crawls into everything. I told you before it is stronger than ever. But so are you. I can sense the expansive source inside you. You are ready to learn the spell I have yearned to teach you. The spell you will need when we reach the Well of Ascension. I have given you eyes that see the source. Now I will give you the teeth to take it.
Scion smiles, and you notice for the first time 2 vampire-like fangs glistening beneath his upper lip. A gulf of magic envelops you, and you feel a sudden, insatiable hunger for sauce.
Go on, I am here for you. Give in to your hunger. It is supernatural. Do not heed me or any other. Only your own lust for power, just like a god should. Go on. Devour me.
Though your spell tore through him like a spear through flesh, Scion looks grimly happy, if haggard.
You speak the spell with brash ferocity, like I knew you would, Sebille. Oh, do you still not see? There is no such thing as too much of your wild abandon. Let me tell you the one truth about what it means to be a god. It is to be the lion in a world of lambs. It is about power, and power is not given, it is taken. With your all-seeing eyes and your all-consuming teeth. You can see the souls of the dead, and now you can feed from them to your hungry heart's content. So feed, for you will starve until you finally feast upon the well of Ascension. Play coy if you must, but sheer hunger will soon trump your all-too-delicate feelings. Your soul must grow bigger still, your inner self become a vaster expanse so that it may house divinity. There are more masters of the Source, more aspects of the Source to learn. The hunt continues, Sebille. Just you hurry.
The long, sharp needle is blackened with the ink that fuels its purpose, to tattoo the names of those you hunt upon your skin. Diliana, a white, naked corpse on the forest floor. You killed her because the Master forced you to. You recall Hippos, House of Dreams. The drugs drove him even madder than he already was. "I'm a magpie," he screamed as he leapt to his death. You slowly embed the lone wolf's name into your skin, sentencing him to death. Your abductor is dead. You've but a single prey left, and you know where he is. Ink fuels the needle's purpose. This single word fuels yours. Master, he is the center of your search. He will be the pinnacle of your vengeance. Only when he is dead will you truly be free. The pain has faded, and a strange sort of beauty remains. Your own name lies golden upon your skin, a blessing and a promise of things to come.
Sebille, you've come not a moment too soon. It's here. Even here. We must hurry now. We must race towards the well with all the determination of the eagle diving for its prey. Your prey lies on a far-off shore, at the heart of the Nameless Isle. It is a place no one can reach unless their soul becomes their compass.
He places a hand over your heart, and you suddenly feel it, an unmistakable pull in a new and distant direction.
The battle for divinity is about to begin in earnest. The other gods and their chosen will try to outflank us, just like we must outflank them. But I will be with you. I will guide you, stand by you. I will watch as you drink from the wellspring and its source surges into you. The void will be overcome, and you will be the god of gods. The end is nigh. Don't fail us now.
One step, then another, even closer. You've never felt so ready to kill, so on the brink of impending action. You're like a cat, all concentrated muscle, that split second before it pounces. Another step, even closer. The moment has finally come. You've found the Master. The eyes of predators meet.
Sebille?
He snaps his fingers, and you involuntarily snap to attention.
Here you go, breaking my heart.
He sighs, sadly.
I don't begrudge you your freedom. Your escape relieved me of having to witness your death by your own hand. The inevitable last command. I would have watched you, like I have all this time, glad to see you live, sometimes even laugh. I'm very fond of you, you know. Does it?
Another snap, different fingers, different sound. You look to the ground. You're bowing before him.
Utter control. The tool of a tyrant, you think? But you're mistaken. Let me indulge you with an explanation. Everything I do for a much greater good. The supreme example of this is you. You're the prime Scion. It had to be you. The other Scions knew you, welcomed you. They sought out their own killer. It was all so very elegant. What I did had to be done, Sebille, and I had to be the orchestrator, for I am the House of Shadows. I am the Fate Weaver. I am the hand that guides a blind world. Come all this way in vain. Stingtail lied. Torture victims tend to. The scar can never be undone. But why seek to be rid of it when it is a badge of honor? I forced you to shed the blood of Scions because rather than a killer, it transformed you into a savior of untold millions. Here's the final truth, Sebille. The true evil here is not me. It's you. The Mother Tree and her Scions do not seek to carve out their own part of peace in this world. They seek to carve out the whole wide world for themselves. They want their roots to conquer every last inch of Rivellon. World domination. The prevalence of one race over all others. That is what they desire. That is what I counteract. Death, death, death. Did I create a monster after all? I don't begrudge you your freedom, Sebille, but you came looking for me driven by no more than ordinary bloodlust. All you see is red. You've lost sight of all reason. You know how the scar works. You know I have but to sing a single tune. You've no hope whatsoever of defeating your master.
He sings. The scar song swells. 1,000 tiny needles in your soul, chipping away at your will. But then, from your core of cores, you can feel an unparalleled strength arise. You're God-woken, and you resist. Your unswerving confidence unsettles him. Doubt clouds his eyes for the first time. The patient cat finally pounces. You strike, precisely, exactly. Your needle pierces his neck, spears his vocal cords, filling his throat with blood. Checkmated and muted, he staggers back, all a feared fury. This is it. It's time to kill the Master. You look into Red Prince's face. He eagerly searches your eyes for any hint of how you must feel now that it's over, now that the Master is dead.
I can imagine, yes. Here's one kinsman whose death I do not deplore in the slightest. That said, he did want to talk to me about the Red Princess, a chance I was deprived of when you so gracefully skewered his neck with your needle. Under any other circumstance, that action would have quite enraged me beyond measure. But as it stands, I suppose I'll just have to have a chat with your former master's spirit. Before I do so, however, I ask you in earnest, are you truly all right? I can only imagine how you must feel now that you've slain the prey you hunted for years. When all your life revolves around a single purpose, one can't help but feel lost, I would think, when that purpose is fulfilled. Its achievement doesn't satisfy so much as it disillusions. That will pass. Just give it some time. For in time you will learn that to be without purpose is its own kind of freedom. Until then, savor your victory. And a spectacular victory it was. Believe me when I say I'm quite impressed.
I am the scion of the Mother Tree. Her heart speaks through me. The Mother gave you a gift through Sahila. She gave of her power, and now she is ailing. Now you must come to her aid. Sebille, you return. There is much to talk about, but first, the Mother needs you. She is in danger. A shadow hunts her. You must rid us of the shadow. Use your special talents. The Shadow Prince is on this island, seeking our annihilation. He is the master of the House of Shadows. He is a terror that breathes. You know him simply as the Master, Sebille. It is time for vengeance. You must cut off its breath, then bring me its heart. You would bring death? Death comes to you.
This is the heart of the Mother Tree, the center of the elven universe. It looks unwell. Your own heart beats faster. Your gut tightens. The entire Mother Tree shudders, and then you hear her screaming, calling out to all of the elves. You may be in trouble. The heart of the Mother Tree withers and dies. All fall silent and still.
Sebille, it is so good to see you once more. I must speak with you. It is of the greatest importance. At last I see clearly. I know what must be done. The mother is sick. She is weak. Her grip slips at last. You make her so. You kill her scions. You are strong now, Sebille. You are prime Scion. You are God-woken. This is a unique opportunity. The impossible is now possible. Kill her. Free us from her tyranny, please. Finish what you start. One more kill. You must strike at her heart. Do this for me. Do this for all of us. Set us free. You are right. I think it was her sickness. Now I know what this feeling means. The mother is dead. We are finally free. My heart is filled with gladness that you are with us, Sebille. I hope to see you again. I hope you find that which you seek.
Remember me. This has not gone as planned, and the fault is yours. You have brought the elves to their ruin. You have failed me. I own you. I have tasted your flesh. Now you shall give me your all. Your body, your soul. The others are coming and I have work to do. I must do what you could not. I must become the one god of this world. Surrender to me. Do not dare defy me. It won't hurt at all. Kneel.
He sighs in disappointment.
Let me show you the error of your ways.
Sebille, it gives me joy to see you. You continue to become the great Scion. This is good, for we stand on the edge of the abyss. Are you prepared for the coming war? The mother is dead, and we are free of her terrible plan. The age of the mother is over. The shackles of the past are broken. We shall take our rightful place in the new world. War is coming. We shall harrow the earth with the blood of humans, lizards, and dwarves, and from it a new forest shall grow. A forest you will plant, Sebille.
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the God-woken. A new divine rose, a true heir to the Seven, more powerful than ever, and united Rivellon in its battle against the Void. All across the realm, she was loved, worshipped, and adored. Humans, lizards, elves, and dwarves all rallied to her banner. The great allegiance stood once more, but the war continued. From the depths of the void, the God King still sought to return. As for me, my last hope of ever being freed of the God King's terrible tyranny faded when the God-woken claimed divinity. An eternity of pain and suffering is mine. I cling now to the dream that one day the veil will be sealed, that one day I can be freed, that one day a new God-woken will rise.
You, Sebille, the elven divine, What did you do with your power? What kind of divine were you as the world battled on? Did you show mercy or strength? Did you sacrifice others as Lucian had done? Did you regret becoming divine? Did you wish you'd surrendered the power that runs through your veins and sealed the veil? Did you bring back the ancestor trees? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.